Hello, brothers, and welcome to Sigma Old Man Channel. The scariest people are the ones you can't figure out. Sigmas embody this truth like a well-kept secret in a locked vault. They're the ones who quietly walk into a room and somehow command it without saying a word. You feel their presence, intense, unshakable, a little unnerving, but you can't explain why. Here's the kicker. Most people fear what they don't understand, and Sigmas, they're practically designed to be misunderstood. Did you know that humans are hardwired to fear unpredictability more than anything else? That's why people lose their minds over roller coasters or horror movies. They can't control what's coming next. Now imagine a person embodying that same unpredictable energy, but without the theatrics. That's a Sigma. They don't scream for attention. They whisper with actions, calculated silences, and the kind of self-possession that sends shivers down spines. But don't mistake their calm exterior for passivity. They can unravel you in ways that'll leave you questioning your existence. And the scariest part, they'll do it with a straight face. So buckle up, because what you're about to discover might just change the way you look at these shadow dwellers forever. Oh, and if you're a little intimidated already, good, you should be. Number 1, dissecting gaze. A Sigma's gaze is not just a look, it's a full-on interrogation without a single word spoken. They have this unsettling ability to see right through people, peeling back the layers that most try so hard to keep hidden. While others glance and move on, a Sigma's eyes linger, not in a creepy way, but in a way that makes you feel like every insecurity, lie, and vulnerability is being exposed in real time. This unnerves people to their core because most of us wear masks, trying to appear more confident, happier, or stronger than we really are. But with a Sigma, there's no mask thick enough. What makes it even scarier is how casual they are about it. They're not analyzing you out of malice or judgment, it's just second nature to them. They read body language like a book, catch micro-expressions that most wouldn't even notice, and piece together the truth like a detective solving a case. People who thrive on deceit or facade hate this because with a Sigma there's nowhere to hide. You can feel their silent observation picking apart the contradictions between your words and your actions. And it's like they're holding up a mirror to everything you're trying to avoid. It's not just about what they see, it's the fact that they rarely share what they've figured out. That ambiguity drives people insane. Are they judging? Are they planning something? Do they even care? The truth is, Sigmas often see more than they let on, and their silence is their weapon. They know more than they reveal, and that unspoken knowledge gives them power. Their gaze doesn't just make people uncomfortable. It forces them to confront the very parts of themselves they try to bury, and that's what truly scares them. Number 2, brutal honesty. A Sigma's brutal honesty is a force to be reckoned with. They don't bother sugarcoating the truth or tiptoeing around difficult subjects. If they have something to say, they say it, and they say it plainly. The sting of their words isn't rooted in cruelty. It's in their refusal to shield anyone from reality. If you ask a Sigma for their opinion, don't expect a soft response. What you'll get is raw, unfiltered truth that can hit you harder than you expected, often exposing things you've been trying to avoid or ignore. This kind of honesty can feel like a slap in the face, but that's because it forces you to face the things you'd rather keep buried. When a Sigma tells you something uncomfortable, it's not because they enjoy seeing you squirm, it's because they believe you need to hear it. They have no time for pretenses or playing nice, and they certainly don't believe in protecting egos at the cost of honesty. This trait can be jarring to people used to the comforting lies or gentle half-truths that soften the blows of reality. What people fear most about a Sigma's brutal honesty is how it exposes their own weaknesses or blind spots. It's one thing to stay in your bubble, pretending everything is fine. It's another when someone comes along and pops that bubble without hesitation. A Sigma's directness doesn't give you a chance to hide behind excuses or distractions. It forces you to face the truth, whether you're ready or not. And that's what terrifies people. It's not the bluntness itself, it's the vulnerability it reveals. When a Sigma speaks the truth, they don't just strip away illusions. They expose the very things others are too afraid to confront. That's why, even though their honesty might sting, people often respect it. Deep down, they know it's the kind of truth they need to hear, even if it's uncomfortable. Number 3, resilience that feels inhuman. A Sigma's resilience isn't just strength, it's almost unnatural. While most people crumble, lash out, or lose themselves when life hits hard, a Sigma doesn't flinch. It's not that they're unfeeling, it's that they've trained themselves to see challenges differently. They don't get stuck in the chaos or wallow in self-pity. Instead, they pause, assess the situation like a strategist studying a battlefield, and figure out exactly how to adapt. Every setback becomes a lesson, every blow a data point to analyze and use for future growth. This unnerves people who are used to seeing pain as a breaking point. It's unsettling to watch someone take on situations that would destroy most and not just survive, but thrive. People expect cracks to show, emotions to spill over, or some kind of collapse under the pressure, but with a Sigma it never comes. They absorb the hits, quietly rebuild and come back stronger, smarter, and more determined than ever. What makes their resilience so intimidating is its calmness. There's no dramatic display of emotion, no cries for sympathy, and no public meltdown to make others feel better about their own struggles. They simply endure. And their ability to keep standing no matter how hard life hits exposes the fragility of those who can't handle the same weight. People can't understand how a Sigma stays so composed. And that mystery, that quiet strength, feels almost otherworldly. It's not arrogance or apathy, it's discipline, self-mastery, and an unshakable belief that no situation is too big to overcome. This resilience doesn't just inspire fear, it's a constant reminder of what's possible when someone refuses to be defeated. For those who depend on others breaking to feel strong, a Sigma's ability to endure is downright terrifying. Number 4, unshakable morals. A Sigma operates with a moral code that's carved in stone, not written in pencil. They don't bend their principles to fit situations, appease others, or chase after rewards. What they stand for is non-negotiable, and this kind of unyielding integrity can be downright intimidating. Most people are accustomed to living in the gray areas, tweaking their values when it's convenient or when it benefits them. But with a Sigma, there's no gray, it's black and white, and that clarity makes others feel exposed. What makes this so unsettling is that their morals aren't performative. Sigmas don't preach or demand others live by their standards, they just embody them. Whether they're surrounded by applause or criticism, they remain the same, and that consistency is rare. It's a quiet defiance against a world that often rewards compromise, and it forces people to confront their own shifting values. This scares those who rely on loopholes and justifications to navigate life. A Sigma's refusal to budge highlights how much others are willing to sacrifice their integrity for short-term gains. Sigmas don't play those games. If the cost of success, friendship, or love is their principles, they'll walk away without hesitation, leaving people stunned by their conviction. But this unwavering stance also means they can't be manipulated or coerced. You can't buy their loyalty, guilt them into compliance, or tempt them with shiny promises. Their inner compass is so strong that no external pressure can throw them off course. For those who thrive on exploiting weaknesses or moral ambiguity, a Sigma is an immovable wall, and that's terrifying. Their unshakable morals don't just intimidate, they act as a mirror, forcing others to see just how far they've drifted from their own. Number 5, low-key dominance. A Sigma's dominance doesn't come with loud declarations or power plays. It's subtle, almost invisible, but impossible to ignore. They don't need to bark orders, raise their voice, or demand respect. Instead, they naturally command attention through their actions, their confidence, and the quiet way they navigate the world. Before anyone realizes it, they're steering the ship, and everyone else is following their lead without even questioning it. This low-key dominance is unsettling because it's so effortless. People are used to equating leadership with noise, commands, speeches, and big displays of authority. But Sigmas don't need to put on a show. They exude a calm, self-assured energy that naturally draws people in, almost like gravity. It's not about force, it's about influence. People gravitate toward them because they trust their competence, their vision, and their ability to stay cool under pressure. What really throws people off is how they achieve this without seeming like they're even trying. There's no scheming, no manipulation, no ego-driven need to control. They simply exist in a way that makes others want to align with them. And because they never chase the spotlight or demand credit, their influence feels even more powerful. You don't see them coming, and by the time you realize what's happening, they've already taken the lead without saying a word. This quiet control unnerves people who rely on traditional power dynamics to assert dominance. Sigmas don't play by those rules, and that makes them unpredictable. Their ability to outmaneuver others with subtlety and grace feels almost like a form of psychological judo, disarming, effective, and impossible to counter. It's not just their leadership that scares people. It's the fact that they've mastered the art of doing it without making a single ripple. Number 6, ability to walk away. A Sigma's ability to walk away isn't just a choice, it's a philosophy. They don't stick around in situations, relationships, or environments that drain them, disrespect them, or stunt their growth. There's no dramatic goodbye, no lingering hesitation, and definitely no endless internal debates. If something no longer serves their purpose or aligns with their values, they'll cut ties and leave, often without a second glance. This isn't an act of coldness, it's clarity. They know what they want and, more importantly, what they won't tolerate. This terrifies people who rely on attachment for their sense of security. In a world where so many cling to toxic dynamics out of fear, fear of being alone, fear of change, or fear of starting over, a Sigma's decisiveness is like a mirror reflecting all that insecurity. It's unsettling to witness someone who doesn't let guilt, sentimentality, or societal pressure keep them stuck. Sigmas don't view walking away as failure, they see it as self-respect, and that level of self-assurance is rare. What's even scarier is how unshakable they are in their choice. Once they decide to leave, there's no chasing them back, no sweet-talking, no emotional manipulation that works. They've made peace with the loss before they even step away. And while most people hesitate because they fear burning bridges, a Sigma simply builds their own path somewhere else. This independence isn't just intimidating, it's disruptive. It challenges the idea that relationships, jobs, or connections should be held onto at all costs. A Sigma's ability to walk away forces people to question their own unhealthy attachments, and that's where the fear lies. It's not that Sigmas are heartless, it's that they have the courage to let go while others cling to what's breaking them. Number 7, strategic thinking. A Sigma's mind operates like a chessboard, always plotting moves far beyond the immediate moment. While most people react to situations in the heat of the moment, scrambling to handle whatever is right in front of them, Sigmas are already thinking about the long game. They don't just see what's happening, they anticipate what's coming, weighing every possible outcome before anyone else even realizes there's a game being played. This level of calculated thinking isn't just impressive, it's unnerving. People find comfort in believing they have some control, that their decisions are well thought out and strategic. But in the presence of a Sigma, that illusion shatters. A Sigma's ability to think 10 steps ahead makes others painfully aware of how reactive they really are. While they're busy putting out fires, the Sigma has already built a fireproof house. It's not arrogance, it's preparation. And the unsettling part is how effortlessly they do it. This isn't limited to work or big picture goals, it shows up in every aspect of their life. Conversations, relationships, conflicts, they're always assessing, always watching, and always prepared for the next move. What throws people off is that they don't flaunt this skill. Sigmas don't need to announce their plans or draw attention to their intelligence. They let their results speak for them, and by the time anyone catches on, they've already executed their strategy flawlessly. It's intimidating to face someone who seems untouchable because they've already predicted your moves before you've made them. It leaves people feeling vulnerable, like pawns in a game they didn't even realize they were playing. A Sigma's strategic thinking isn't just a tool, it's a superpower that leaves everyone around them questioning how much control they really have over their own lives. Number 8, control over emotions. A Sigma's emotional control is a force of nature. While most people let their emotions dictate their actions, whether it's anger leading to outbursts, panic spiraling into chaos, or stress paralyzing them, a Sigma remains composed. It's not that they don't feel deeply, they do, but their emotions never control them. They've mastered the art of acknowledging their feelings without letting them dictate their behavior, and that level of self-mastery can feel almost alien to others. In a world where emotions often run unchecked, a Sigma's calm demeanor can seem robotic. When chaos erupts, they're the ones who think clearly. When provoked, they don't react with fiery anger, but with calculated silence. It's not detachment, it's discipline. They've trained themselves to pause, reflect, and decide the best course of action, rather than being swept away by the tides of emotion. This unnerves people because it highlights just how much control most lack over their own responses. What's truly intimidating is that their composure doesn't mean indifference. A Sigma can be seething inside and still maintain a poker face. They can be hurt but refuse to crumble. This level of control creates a power imbalance in emotional exchanges. If someone lashes out at them, expecting a fight, they'll be met with nothing but calm, which only escalates the other person's frustration. Sigmas don't play emotional tug-of-war, they simply let go of the rope. This control exposes the rawness in others. It's hard to hide your emotional instability when standing next to someone who refuses to be rattled. People don't just fear a Sigma's emotional restraint. They envy it because it shines a spotlight on their own lack of control. In a world driven by impulsive reactions, a Sigma's unshakable calm is both a mystery and a mirror, and that's what makes it so unsettling. Number 9, an aura of mystery. A Sigma carries an aura of mystery that wraps around them like a thick fog, never fully dissipating, no matter how long you've known them. They are the masters of leaving just enough unsaid to keep others guessing, never revealing their true selves in full. Even after years of interaction, there's always something hidden beneath the surface, something that keeps you wondering if you really know them at all. This constant air of enigma leaves people unsettled, unsure of whether they're dealing with someone far more brilliant than they let on, a quiet threat, or perhaps a bit of both. What's unsettling is that this mystery isn't forced. It's a natural byproduct of their nature. Sigmas don't feel the need to constantly share or explain themselves. They don't seek validation or approval by laying bare their thoughts and emotions. Instead, they carefully control what information they reveal, keeping their cards close to the chest. And when they do offer a glimpse into their inner world, it's often cryptic, leaving others with more questions than answers. This makes interacting with a Sigma feel like stepping into a maze. No matter how far you go, you're never quite sure if you've reached the center. The lack of predictability in their behavior only fuels the mystery. One moment, they might open up just a crack, showing a side of themselves no one expected, and the next, they're back to their composed, almost distant self. This back and forth keeps people off balance, never quite knowing what to expect. For those used to transparency and openness, this level of guardedness feels like a challenge. It forces them to confront the reality that no matter how much time they invest, they may never fully unravel the Sigma. This kind of mystery doesn't just intrigue, it unsettles, because it places the Sigma beyond the reach of typical understanding. And when you can't figure someone out, you either admire them for their complexity or fear them for what you can't see. Either way, you're left guessing. Number 10, weaponized independence. A Sigma doesn't just enjoy being alone, they turn solitude into a superpower. While most people dread being alone, fearing the silence and the stillness, a Sigma thrives in it. For them, it's not about isolation, it's about independence, about creating a space where they're untouchable. This terrifies people because society is built on the idea of connection, of relying on others for comfort, validation, and a sense of belonging. Sigmas flip that idea upside down. They don't just survive without external validation, they excel without it. What makes this so unnerving is the sheer strength it projects. People who need constant companionship often see solitude as a weakness, a sign of being unloved or unwanted. But for a Sigma, being alone is a choice, not a curse. They use that time to sharpen their minds, master their craft, and build themselves up in ways that most people can't even comprehend. They don't rely on anyone to boost their confidence or fuel their ambitions. They generate that energy from within, and it shows. This kind of independence unsettles people who can't imagine life without someone holding their hand. It exposes how dependent they are on others to feel secure. And the scariest part, a Sigma's independence makes them unmanipulable. You can't guilt them, bait them, or trap them in the usual emotional games people use to control others. They're free in the purest sense, and freedom like that is intimidating. It's a reminder of how rare true self-sufficiency is, and just how much power it holds. People fear Sigmas not because they're alone, but because they've weaponized their aloneness into something unstoppable. In a world that thrives on facades, convenience, and predictable patterns, the Sigma is the quiet disruptor. The one who doesn't just go along with the crowd but stands apart, shaping their own path with unshakable confidence. The traits we've explored here don't just make the Sigma stand out. They make them nearly impossible to ignore. They exude a power that's unsettling to some, admirable to others, and utterly magnetic to those who crave authenticity and strength. Sigmas don't need validation because they've already mastered the art of self-sufficiency. Their ability to remain calm in chaos, their unapologetic pursuit of their own truth, and their ability to move through life with precision and control leaves a lasting impression. They challenge others to look inward, to question their own lack of emotional control, or to wonder why they're so afraid of being completely honest. The Sigma's existence is a reminder that there's a different way to live, a way that doesn't bend to societal norms, doesn't fear judgment, and doesn't waste time trying to fit in. And that's the true power of a Sigma. Their willingness to be themselves unapologetically, even when it makes others uncomfortable. The fear they evoke isn't about cruelty or intimidation. It's about their sheer refusal to conform and the courage it takes to walk a path few dare to follow. So, whether you admire them from a distance or wish you could be more like them, one thing is clear: the Sigma's influence is undeniable. They don't just navigate the world, they redefine what it means to live on their own terms. If you found yourself captivated by the power and mystery of the Sigma, don't miss out on the next deep dive into what makes these extraordinary individuals tick. Hit that subscribe button and join a community that's all about uncovering the truths that most shy away from. Trust me, you won't want to miss what's coming next, because we're just getting started. Stay tuned, stay sharp, and let's keep exploring the world of Sigma together. Subscribe now, and let's redefine what it means to be exceptional. Bye for now, and see you in the next video.